This meeting is being recorded.
Hello and welcome to Oh Yes It Is, the show where I take my mates from the world of entertainment and ask them about their lives, how they got started, where they're going, and all the stuff like that. Today we have a genuine true legend of the stage, a dear friend of mine, a great guy, Mr. Bob Golden. How you doing, sir?
Wow, did you rehearse that? That's
No?
amazing. What an intro. It's like you're a pro.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't tell anyone, no.
Good to see you, Georgie boy.
And you, mate, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you spending some time. It's
Nice
great
one.
to see
Oh,
you again,
oh yes. Where did you come up with the idea for the podcast for this then? Were you just
Oh, it took
bored?
me bloody ages. Trying to think of a title. But obviously as actors, we have nothing to do with our spare time. So this is something to do with, yeah, instead of going insane.
That's fair. That's fair. Is that how
Yeah.
you describe yourself? Are you an actor first?
But yeah, action comedian. People know me more as a comedian. It's always what people talk about more. They ask me first about more, but obviously I just tell people go, oh, what do you do for a living? I go, oh, I'm an actor. And then I go
Yeah.
down the line and go, oh, I'm also a stand-up comedian, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And part-time sex god.
Well, yeah. The part-time's getting bigger.
Well, that's what's supposed to happen, darling.
So no, Bob, I know you as an amazing panto dame, an amazing actor. But where did it all start for you?
Oh gosh. I saw a panto actually when I was a kid. But my dad worked for a big pharmaceutical firm, and I suppose I was about 6 or 7. And I went with that firm. They went to the Intimate Theatre in Palmer's Green, northeast London, to see Mother Goose, starring the wonderful Bill Owen as Mother Goose, as the title character. I remember looking up and thinking, this is brilliant. This is an awesome job. And everyone was laughing and joining in. It was a great panto. It's a tiny little theatre. But at the end, Bill Owen asked the audience if anyone had any jokes. And I put my hand up, or I think my little brother, Jeremy, put my hand up to tell this joke. So I went up on the stage and I told a joke, and I got a little goodie bag with an apple in it and a signed picture of Bill Owen and some other accoutrement of the 70s. And I came away thinking, wow, that was really fun. I like that. But I was always very shy, George. And I think
Okay.
I still, to this day, I don't really like fuss. I think obviously it's a very hard thing to avoid, not being confident in public situations when you are an actor. But one of the biggest nightmares in my life is talking publicly as me. I'd much rather do it as a character or someone
Yeah.
else, or because I think that little 6-year-old is still there. You know, that little shy boy. I was always too shy to go into a shop and ask to buy something. My brother always used to come with me
Oh
and literally
wow.
hold my hand. So my parents saw that, and they sent me to drama clubs from quite an early age. And quite frankly, I mean, I'm now I've got kids. I've got 4 kids, and uh, they're all creative. So I think if you grow up as a creative, then academia, which is where society and everything in this country, certainly culture wise, pushes us towards academia. I didn't really fit in, so
No.
I think at school, drama and art and photography and all the kind of doing-y practical stuff was really what turned me on and made me pay attention, really. So and I'm seeing that in my kids now as well, although my older daughters they've been to uni now, and they've done really well, but my son is very much like me and struggles. In fact, now, dyslexia is easily diagnosed. I think
Oh
I
yeah.
was probably dyslexic as a kid. So all those kind of things point towards, you have to find something that you love to do. It's really good to find something that you're passionate about, and performing and acting was that for me. And I was very lucky, that I was encouraged in that department and got cast in nice things. And as a kid, just the drama clubs and things like that, which led to that being, more than a passion, a way of life, because I couldn't do anything else really.
No.
So, and I still can't. So, I'm still touching wood that I'm, working these days. So it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
And do you remember what that first professional job was then that you had?
Well, in my day, back in those days, getting your equity card was the big thing. You had to be a member of the union to get work, but
Yeah.
then you had to get work, you had to be a member of the union, and you couldn't get work without being a
Yeah.
member of the union. So it's quite so. Sometimes you had to think outside the box, and I did a tour of a kids show called "Mum, There's a Martian in the Shower." I know, it's an epic. It's just me and my good mate Glenn Davis. We toured around the home counties doing these shows to get the contracts up, really, so that we could send. I think it was 16 contracts you needed to send in to Equity and say, look, these are proper contracts that we've been paid to do. I played an alien in that play called,
Of course.
and my name was Smith. I remember that much. That was 1990. Oh gosh, I think it was 1992, around that time. And then that's because I got my Equity card. I was able to audition for like proper legit theatre stuff, which I went up and did in a place called Basford near Stoke-on-Trent. There's a brilliant theatre in the round there called the New Victoria Theatre, in between Newcastle under Lyme and Stoke-on-Trent. It is amazing, and they were a proper rep theatre that did plays in repertory. You'd rehearse one, you'd open a show, then start rehearsing the next day for the next show.
Oh wow.
So it was a great learning ground for all that kind of stuff, and you get to work with that older actors who can teach you stuff, and also your contemporaries as well, who you grow with through the industry. Which I was really lucky, and thankfully I haven't looked back. I didn't go to drama school. I did an extra year at FE College for training, and which was basically a practical year where we did more productions. So it gave me more confidence on stage, and that's always been my passion. Theatre is always the first place that you go to. Now I'm doing more sort of screen based stuff, but I will always do theatre because I love it so much. I like it much like yourself. Every single performance that you do is different from the last one, so not too
100%.
different, hopefully, unless you work with Ian Kirkby, of course.
Oh well, yeah. But I said panto or comedy gigs, every show is different somehow. No two shows are ever the same.
The main thing that's different is the audience, of course, and
and
so you have to remember that you're doing it all for the first time. They're seeing it all for the first time, and that passion and that it becomes an addiction. I would say, would you not? You get that, like especially for comedy. With comedy, you have to physically make the audience do something. Whereas with drama, they just ingest what you've performed and go away and think about it. But really, with comedy, you have to make them make noise from their mouths, otherwise you're not doing your job properly. And when you do that, it's a buzz, isn't it? You kind of go, this is a nice feeling. I mean, you've yet to experience it, haven't you, with your material?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'll let you know when I get it.
Yeah, but theatre's always been that love for me, and that's where, thankfully, my training was with all different kinds of actors, and we did so many plays there, and it's one of my favorite theaters in the country, actually, the New Vic. But then I went on and did lots of other northern reps. The north of England seemed to be very rife in the 90s for new productions. I worked up in Bolton, I worked in Harrogate, Coventry. So I say the north, I mean a lot of those places sort of East Midlands or whatever, but it's north for me because I grew up in northeast London.
Exactly. Yeah. So obviously you've worked for all these years. When's it ever gone wrong for you? And I know it has over the years.
Well, I think with everyone who is self-employed, let alone being a self-employed creative, the big scare and the big worry is how you're going to pay the next bill. So that it does go quiet, and I think the longest I've been out of work was I moved to Eastbourne about 1994. I met my first wife, and we moved down there because one of the other actors I was working with had a flat there, and actually the flat was above Brian Murphy's flat. You remember the actor with George and Mildred?
Yeah.
He was fantastic. It was a really good help for me because I wasn't working.
Oh, nice.
So it was nice to talk to another actor about what to do. And so,
especially him.
Yeah, and we didn't have a phone in those days, so it was all. I had a pager, and I'd always look at the pager every day, check the battery was working. That my agent would message and say, "You've got a casting, you've got to come into London," because there was no such thing as self tapes then.
Yeah.
So I used to have to jump, and this was in Eastbourne, so I used to jump on the train, go into London, and cross my fingers with everything. So there was I had to sign on for a little while on the dole. with my. We weren't married then, but then we got married soon after, and it, that was tough. I think if I'd been on my own and wasn't with anyone at the time, it would have been tougher because
Yeah.
we're not easy people to be with performers
No.
when we can't perform, are we? So,
No.
and if you're in love with someone, then I think it makes it much easier. So even
A
though it
nice
was,
distraction.
yeah, it really was. And I proposed to her on the beach there in Eastbourne. It was a rainy day. I'd sold stuff. Anything that was worth any money. I'd sold a guitar and bits and pieces, and managed to get a cheap cubic zirconia ring that looked like a diamond, but obviously wasn't. It was like 45 quid or something. And I proposed to her on Eastbourne Beach, and she said yes. And we got married about a year and a half later in 1996. But during that time, moved back to London and got work. So
Yeah.
and worked in the West End for the first time on a show called Only the Lonely, the Roy Orbison story,
Nice.
which was a nice gig, and that led to another one, Elvis the musical. I did that because I'd come from a long line in rep of doing these sort of actor muso shows, so ones where you play instruments and you sing and you do the drama as well within it, which were quite trendy at the time. They're still around now. I mean, we call them musicals now, but they were very book led. So
Okay.
it was mostly about the musicians themselves, or
Yeah.
sometimes, like in Stoke, the big thing there at the New Vic is that they made heroes of the local people. So the Potters, obviously it's the potteries around there. So we did lots of plays about the Potters and the plays about I did a play called The Knotty, which is all about the loop line. Train line that was once there, and the people that the navvies that made it, and there was always sort of folk music and songs in it. So music was a big part of my life, and that led to me getting some West End stuff, which was lovely.
Nice. Yeah. Has it ever gone wrong for you on stage physically? Like during Panto or during any other shows?
Oh God, I mean, yeah, there's always mistakes. I mean,
Yeah.
going back to Stoke when I was there, because it's in the round, the entrances are not like a normal theatre, Pross Arch, where you come on from left or right. There are what's called vomitoriums, VOMs, basically, which is Latin for, you know,
Yeah.
big sick or whatever, but it's this way is vomiting onto the stage, so to speak.
Okay.
And often I would make mistakes. If you make a mistake in the wings there, you've got an awful long walk to get onto the stage before everyone can see you. I was playing a newsreader in a show called Come On Stan about Stanley Matthews, another local hero to Stoke-on-Trent, obviously,
Yeah.
was one of their footballing heroes. I played this newsreader and I had to say, Stanley Matthews has left Stoke City. Stanley Matthews has left Stoke City. And I forgot to come on. I got my exits mixed up, and I was literally in my boxer shorts down the vom. And I thought, what am I going to do? I was giving a cue line to the next scene. So I just shouted up the vom, Stanley Matthews has left us. All the other actors on stage just looking at each other going, okay, what was all that about then? I mean, loads of things. And funny enough, I did another play there called Buddy's Song. And during one of the heavy scenes in there, there's a scene about parents getting divorced. A kid in the front row, because the front row is basically on stage with you, stood up and vomited. So he vommed down the vom. Yeah, during a scene. So it becomes, of course, it's hard not to look at a kid who's on stage with you. So the play kind of stopped a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been loads of things. When I did Panto in Coventry at the Belgrade in 98, I think it was 1998. I was working with an actress called Katie Stevens, who's amazing. She's gone on to do incredible things at the RSC and lots of TV dramas, and she's a very talented woman. Around that time, do you remember? You probably don't remember, but there was, the song Vindaloo, because the England football team were doing quite well in the World Cup. And that Vindaloo, Vindaloo, me and me mama, me nana, me dad, and we're off to Waterloo, all that.
Yeah.
So I was playing one of the comedy henchmen, me and this other actor called Jim Lowe, come on to the stage to see Katie Stevens there, who's the Wicked Queen. And we ad-libbed this entrance one day going, me and me mum and me dad and me dad. We came on and all the audience joined in going, la, 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 which was great, which was a lovely moment.
Yeah.
And her put down to the audience to make them be quiet. Well, I will always remember it. She turned to them and just said, because you remember the band that did that with Keith Allen were called Fat Les.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she turned to the audience and said, "And you lot can shut up, you bunch of fat leses." Now, obviously, that can mean something else
Yeah.
too. So for about 5 minutes, we didn't continue the panto because we were all in hysterics, including the audience. It's lovely when the audience are in on a joke. I mean,
Oh,
often
yeah.
tales like, the anecdotes like this are the audience didn't know anything that was going on, but when they're
Yeah.
involved in it as well,
When
it
they
kind of
see it go wrong, yeah.
it lifts it. It makes
Yeah.
it. I mean, obviously they love all that. Sometimes, let's not say the pantos we do pretend to go wrong. They go
Yeah.
wrong by accident, but because they love it so much. But that's what
Yeah.
makes live theatre so
Oh, God,
fantastic.
yeah.
So loads and loads of things have gone wrong, and some would say that my whole career has gone wrong.
And here you are now.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome. Yeah.
sign of the
With like
times.
I remember when we did Northampton together a few years back. We were doing it was the opening of Act Two, and we just done the song. We're saying goodbye to Snow White, and as we go off to get our picks and axes, one of the other dwarfs, Jack Hilton, who for viewers is built like a brick shithouse. He is
Yeah,
massive.
we
This
used to
guy.
call him Hijack because he was the
Yeah,
tallest dwarf that we'd ever
yeah,
seen.
it's mental. He caught his footing in the cottage and just fell over, smack, and made this loud crash sound.
I was there. I was
Yeah.
there.
Everyone in the wings panicked, thinking, shit, something's happened. None of us could we'd all seen it apart from Snowy and I think Sarge. We
Yeah.
were crying with laughter. The audience, half the audience had seen it. So we couldn't get the lines down because everyone was just, and
Well,
everyone in
the
the
worst
wings
thing
going,
was
what's
that
happened?
the cloth has to come in as well, but he was still flaying around on the floor like a fish out
So
of water, like that. I mean, he never could get that fucking exit right, could he?
it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. We were literally, none of us could say anything. We were crying.
Yeah.
And the panic at the side of the stage because one of you thought someone had got injured. Went, no, Jack's just a twat and fell over.
Oh yeah, but you lot are a fucking liability anyway. Let's face
Yeah.
it.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. It's like in Canterbury, what I've just done. Paddy Holden, who I know you know very well, he couldn't go a show without injuring himself. He would fall over. Like if when he brought the Hoover on, he tripped over that a couple of times.
Yeah.
He'd have yeah. One show in the beer scene, the thing got stuck on the beer, so Paddy kicked it to get it away, forgetting there's a giant metal pole at the bottom. So he kicked it, then turned to me, and I just heard him in my ear go, "Ow!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And
well
you've got to
done.
stay in character, of course, so that you
Oh
can't
yeah.
can't spoil it for everyone. But I remember Ali, because Ali, Ali
Yeah, yeah,
Serenay,
yeah.
he's gone on to do Paddington now. He's
Yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
covers on Paddington, having a great time there. And I love working with Ali because I mean, talking of liabilities, I mean, you never
Okay.
know what he's going to do or come
Yeah,
out with next. And I
yeah.
remember a director asking him, Sam Kane asked him, "Have you got a big cock, Ali?" And and Ali, how tall is Ali? Would you say
Oh, well, I'm 3'10". He's not that. I don't think he's that much different to me.
he's
I
got?
can't remember.
No, he's
No.
smaller than you, I think.
Yeah, it's more than me.
Yeah, he's a primordial dwarf, so he's
Probably about 3'7", 3'8", maybe.
oh, yeah, it may even be less than that. But anyway,
Yeah.
he's and his voice is sort of like that as well, and he's Iranian too. So with his accent and Sam saying, "Have you got a big cock, Ali?" His answer, I will remember till my dying day, was, "It's not big, but you'll like it."
Oh
Gorgeous.
God
I love
bless
Ali.
that man. I'm telling you an Ali moment again when we did Northampton. A few of us were in the green room, which was like next to our dressing room, so we're just hanging out. I think I was
Mm,
chatting to one of the ensemble, and
yeah.
Ali walked in after being to the shops and went, "Oh, what you got there, Ali?" He went, "Oh, I've got a pizza." He then gets out his bag, a Tesco's finest pizza. We all went, "How are you gonna cook that, Ali? There's no oven in here." He went, "It's fine. I'll put it in the microwave." We went, "What?"
No.
He went, I never told you this. We went, about three of us went, Ali, you can't put a pizza in the microwave. It's Tesco's finest. Like, it's going to be raw. He went, no, 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 I've done it before. I went, okay. He put it in there for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I then legged it back to the dressing room because I had to tell the guys. He walks in. We're all looking at each other in the mirror going, he then goes, does anybody want a slice? We're like, no, no, we're good. We're good. You have it. How he
Was
was
it?
in the next day, I will never know.
But did it look edible?
Oh, it's still got raw dough.
I mean, I thought you were going to say it came in. It looked like a frisbee. Just
No,
for
it was
20 minutes, it would have been absolutely rock hard, wouldn't it?
probably. I don't know. I didn't want to go that far to have to look. But it was like,
Bless him.
what is wrong with you, Ali?
Well, as an Iranian. Obviously, microwaves work very differently out there. There's probably probably some comedy to be had out of that, but I'll leave that to you, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks. Yeah, I've always wanted to get cancelled.
Have you got any Iranian jokes?
Not yet.
Okay, well,
Well,
we'll work on some.
I had a couple, but they bombed.
Hey, here we go. He's on. Honestly, this is comedy bronze. Who did this? Who made? Bless you.
So now, all the jobs you've done over the years, what's been one of your favourite jobs? What's been the best gig for you?
Well, not working with you, you miserable
Well,
fucker.
thank you very much, you can. I love you too.
No. Obviously, Panto's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard work. People don't realise how much hard work
Oh,
it is,
God, yeah.
and the older you get, the harder it gets too. But no, but I think I mean, it would be hard of me and wrong of me to ignore my connections with Eric Morecambe. Playing Eric has always been a huge honour in my life. You know, you get to play one of your heroes every night, and people stand
Yeah.
up at the end. It doesn't get better than that.
No.
And to do a one-man show in the West End and end up with an Olivier Award, that was a definite career highlight.
Yeah.
But I think for the soul, I mean, someone gave me advice once: only take a job if it's got one or more of three things. If it's good for the soul, if it's good for the bank balance, or it's good for your career.
I like that.
And every now and then you get a job that's got all three, but very rarely, I think.
Yeah.
But so my favorite ones are really the ones that are good for the soul. And I was lucky enough to be in a production of Twelfth Night, not last summer, but the summer before, at the Gatehouse Theatre in Stafford. And it was just one of those dream jobs where everyone on it was a delight. You know, they were just so lovely. There's not much money in reps now around the country, so you don't do it for that. You don't do it for that reason. You do it for, well, I love Shakespeare anyway, and it's been a long time since, it's been about 20 years since I'd done a professional Shakespeare play. So to do 12th Night playing Sir Toby Belch, I played Sir Toby, which was just so much fun. We set it in a Cornish fishing village. Oh, it's just come up. Low net bandwidth. Is that you or me?
Don't know. I didn't get the message. So it might be you.
It's probably me. Do I look like a low network bandwidth?
No more than usual.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think of more recent years, certainly doing 12th Night is one of my favourite jobs, because it was just a joyful job. It was a classic, you know, do one show for 7 weeks, you rehearse it for 2.5, 3 weeks, get right into the, and then we bounce off each other artistically. It was just, that's the wonderful thing about Shakespeare, is that it's so versatile, and you can malleable, you know, make it what you want it. And worked with a great director called Sean Turner, who got the best out of all of us. It was also a comedian, a fellow comedian, Sean Walsh.
Oh yeah,
lovely Sean. He played Malvolio in that. He'd never done theatre or Shakespeare before, and he was phenomenal. It was, and I got to share a dressing room with him as well. And he's
I can
great.
only imagine those stories.
Well, yeah, I got to see him in his tights every night. That's lovely, isn't it? There we go. No, but I love Sean. He's a very talented man, and quite rightly going another resurgence now and touring, and catch him in your town.
Yeah, but like one of your jobs, which I do have to quickly mention, for anyone who's like me, was born in the 90s, so grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s, you might not recognize Bob's face, but you will know his voice as one of the Tweenies, which when I found this out when we were working together, blew my mind.
I didn't know you knew that, actually. Yeah, that's right. So 1998, we started working on a concept program. Well, I say I was invited to by the creators. We auditioned, myself and Justin Fletcher, actually, Mr. Tumble now of recent fame. We put some voices down on a tape for the producers of the Panto that I'd mentioned earlier in Coventry, and the directors of it, the writers of it, Ian Lachlan and Will Brenton, and they were creating this pre-show live action TV show for children, preschool live action TV show. called The Tweenies, and I got it was amazing, really. 4 years of my life, mostly. It was 3 years properly, but 4 years with the live stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
To play Milo, did the voice. I spoke like that for 4 years. It was quite looked a bit like that. Oh, hello, Fabaluni.
Yeah.
Yeah, got that there. Yeah, but
What
also
are the chances?
I did Max as well, who was like the older carer and teacher, or if you like, or nursery worker. There, I was inspired by John Shuttleworth, Graham Fellows. Oh yes, my Austin ambassador. Why, Reg? Why, Reg? Why, Reg? Oh, don't keep asking me why, Reg. It just happens to be that year. So he really inspired me to create this character. They knew that it wanted a slightly northern lilt to him, and he was a joy to play. It was quite nice to play two of the characters, because if you speak like that all the time, every day, all the day, it's going to do your head in. It's not Fabaruni. But if you add that every now and then, you can have conversations with yourself. Isn't that right, Milo? Oh yes. What are you doing now, Max? I'm going out in the garden. Would you like to join me? Oh yes, please. And it kind of helps the schizophrenia. Split personality.
So we've touched on it a bit earlier with Eric Morecambe, but growing up, who were your inspirations, and have they changed over the years? Are they still the same?
I mean, obviously, the older we get, the more we harp back to our youth, and I don't think we appreciate things at the time that they're happening. You kind of appreciate them afterwards and go, wow. But in my comedy diet, if you like, as a child, were the legends that were Laurel and Hardy, Norman Wisdom, Will Hay, a huge hero of mine. For some reason, when I was off school sick, there would always be a Will Hay film on BBC Two, and I remember watching. There's a film called Where's That Fire with him and Maud Marriott and Graham Moffat, and actually, what's his name? Charles Hawtrey was from the Carry On films. He was in a lot of the early stuff. We're talking 1930s black and white comedy, British films, properly funny. I mean, you watch them today. They've got slapstick, they've got wordplay, the puns, fast, quick patter delivery. Really, really clever comedy. And then that knocked on to my teen years, and I loved people like Norman Wisdom. I know that he's not everyone's cup of tea, but growing up with that, I think, and I got to meet him on my 15th birthday.
Oh wow!
So he was very much a hero, and of course we were ingesting stuff like Val Doonican and Des O'Connor and all those things, and of course bringing full circle Morecambe and Wise and Eric's talent and Ernie's as well. In fact, not a lot of people talk about Ernie in the same affection as Eric, because Eric was very much the funny man. Kenneth Tynan, a reviewer from the 70s, he sort of hit the nail on the head and said that Eric was the straight man who was funny, and Ernie was the funny man who was straight. And I think that's very astute, because if you think about it, a lot of the time Ernie would be going, dancing, going, yes, sir, she's my baby. And Eric would have standing watching him with his hands in his pockets going, what are you doing? What are you doing? This boy's a fool, he's a fool. And that I think was a really astute description of the pair. But I loved all that. It's rare that you get to watch with your whole family something that makes everyone laugh. My nan, I grew up with my nan, lived with us as well, and well into her 80s. And she would be laughing at the likes of that as well, and Russ Abbott, and all that kind of stuff, because that's what we were told to watch. And actually later in life, I've just come off from doing the Last Laugh play celebrating Eric Morecambe, Bob Monkhouse, and of course Tommy Cooper. These were the jobs of daytime and evening Saturday night viewing, which made everybody laugh. And that it's hard not to stick them on a pedestal and make them icons and heroes.
Oh god, yeah, it's impossible not to do that. Like, I just have to say quickly for the viewers, I saw The Last Laugh twice. I saw in Edinburgh Fringe Festival and Sheffield touring last year, and it's generally the most beautiful piece of media I think I've ever seen. The most beautiful show. It was brilliant, amazing. I believe it's going on tour again. If you get a chance, go and see it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Like, when I'd watched you three, I generally forgot I was watching three actors. because you forget
Wow.
watching you three, like going, oh, I'm watching Eric Morecambe, Tommy Cooper, and Bob Monkhouse. Shit, no, I'm not. I'm watching
Yeah.
three actors, you know, and to get into that mindset. And obviously, I'm watching it from a lot of points of view. I'm watching it as fans of all three of them, massive fans of all three of them. But then watching it as a comedian myself, going, yeah, everything they're saying about performing is true. You know,
Mm.
like we said earlier, it's a drug. You know, there's no
Yeah.
better feeling than making people laugh. It's just, yeah, if you get a chance to see it, go and see it. And I believe it's on, is it Vimeo, the short film?
Yeah, it started off as a short film that Paul Hendy wrote in 2016, I think
Yeah,
it was. And so we shot that. It's a 20-minute short. It's great. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely little version of the piece. And then Paul, over lockdown and during COVID, decided to make it into a play. Brilliantly so. And we were lucky enough to go into the West End with it last year. We started in Edinburgh the year before, then went to the West End, then New York for 5 weeks
wow.
off Broadway. That was interesting. And then a full UK tour last year, when I decided that it's been such a huge, brilliant part of my life playing Eric. But at some point as an actor, I felt that I wanted to say that's it now, and it's not necessarily just a course case of ticking a box saying, yeah, I've played Eric Morecambe, that's it, done, move
Yeah,
on. It's more, I want to continue loving
yeah,
Eric in the way that I always have done, and to have played him on and off for 16 years, think is my thank you to him and to all all the creatives that I work with as well. And I felt that was time for me. So I've stepped back, and the brilliant Steve Royal will be stepping in to play Eric now, continuing around the UK. It's doing 7 months, 8 months in the UK. It's also going on the Queen Mary from
oh,
Southampton to New York for a week as well.
nice.
I think in June. I think it might be June
Yeah,
or yeah, or May. I
I
can't
will
remember.
leave. I'll leave a link to the show in the description below if you fancy going for, I'd say, go and support these guys. Are all absolutely amazing people. But for you, where does the love come from for performing?
I think it harps back to what I was talking about earlier, George, about being quite shy, being a little bit of a lack of self-confidence, and what better to hide behind another character to find that confidence. And also, I think I learned so much more as an actor about life, geography, history, science, nature through performance and play and playwriting, and performing. You
Yeah,
learn, you almost by osmosis, you gather information, because any kind of performing is about the truth. Even in
yeah,
pantomime, it's about the truth. You've got to believe in the scenes that you're doing. You are furious about getting a pie in the face. Otherwise it's not funny. If you're
yeah,
laughing at it as well, it loses the funniness of it a little
yeah,
bit. So belief in it, and completely submitting yourself to that thing like another character, I think is extremely cathartic, and it's really good for you. So that becomes addictive. And also, I mean, we were talking about comedy and how immediate that is, and that you have to make them laugh, and then you're doing your job properly. But I get a kick out of doing drama as well, because
yeah,
at the end of the day, we're storytellers, and if you can tell a story in such a way that moves someone when they leave the building, or when they go away and they get the train home, or whatever, when they think on their own at home or whatever, if it changes the way they think about something, then that's incredible. That's why we do it.
yeah.
So I get a kick out of that. I mean, there's so many things to do with it, and I hope that, I mean, we don't have things like pensions in our
No,
industry. We die with our boots on, and I hope that
yeah,
I'm gonna do a John Gielgud and keep going in, as long as I can, and still keep
yeah.
performing. It
We
is
said on
it's
the
an
last
honor.
episode, which by the time this comes out would have come out last night, but for me it was about an hour ago, with Will Kenning saying about, yeah, there's no pension in this career, so we've just got to enjoy it and do as much of it as we can, you know? Yeah, because for you, why is live entertainment so important, do you reckon?
Well, it hasn't changed in thousands and thousands of years, has it? Since the Greek Aristoteles and all the big Greek philosophers making these huge chorus pieces and morality plays and all that. It we I think that there's very few mediums that can have that effect on the human condition. I think the most powerful thing is music, because you can be in a atrocious mood, and listen to one piece of music and it completely calm you and change your
Yeah.
whole outlook on humanity. With drama and performance, as in stage performance and stuff like that, I think it takes a little longer. It's not as immediate as music, but it's still, we'll always listen and want stories. That's why I think AI is going to get as close as it can do for with humanity, but never be it. And that's what we must always remember. It will never ever be. There's no empathy in a robot telling you what it's like to be a human. There is no
Yeah.
empathy in that.
No.
So another human telling another human story, yeah, you
Yeah.
can relate to those emotions, and that's what it's all about. I think telling stories for a living, it's the greatest job on the planet, and I hope to do it for many more years to come and decades. And yourself, I mean, we were
Yeah.
talking earlier about heroes. I mean, you're considerably younger than me. You're what, 30 now, are you?
We're going to be 30 this year. Yeah.
You're going to be 30 this year.
Yeah.
So, oh God, what year were you born then? Hang on, to
96.
1996. Look at
Yeah.
that. I was 26.
You're welcome.
Thanks, George. Yeah, but who have you grown up sort of idolizing?
Well, very similar to you, actually. I'm really into the old British comedy, so I love like Tommy Cooper, Morecambe and Wise, Les
Really?
Dawson. Yeah, I'm a massive fan. Like, I remember years and years ago, ITV had the show all about Les Dawson. I was already into classic comedy then, and my parents sat me down and said, "Do you know Les Dawson?" I went, "No, no." They went, "Watch this, you're gonna love him," and they were absolutely right. You know, like I remember this to the day I die. He did his famous mother-in-law funeral joke. And if you, I won't do it, I can't do it justice, but go and see it. And I was laughing for about 20 minutes. I couldn't breathe because I
Yeah,
just did not expect the punchlines. I didn't expect anything that he set up. And to
yeah.
be like, just to watch him, and as I said, if you're ever in a bad mood, I just put on a bit of Les Dawson, a bit of Morecambe Wise, Tommy Cooper, Kent, you know, something like that. Just because
So
they
you've
don't.
skipped a generation. I mean, is there no one of your age that you look up to and think that I'd like that career?
Oh, there's a lot of comedians that I love now, you know, like John Bishop, Michael McIntyre, you know. But I think it's two very different styles of comedy.
Mm,
Like back then, Tommy Cooper, as well, as more than the others, I believe, but Tommy Cooper could come on stage, not say a word, and everybody's already laughing. Yes, Eric Morecambe Wise could do that as well, but I think Tommy Cooper knew how to do it. And I think the only person who could do that in British comedy now is Milton Jones because of how he looks.
yeah.
I don't think like I certainly if I came on stage and just went, everyone would look at me going, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know?
No, but you know, you are
Yeah.
working as a comedian probably because of how you look as well, though, I would
Oh
imagine.
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, yeah. You know, and that's like my obviously you've seen my show a couple of years back at the Fringe, and my show is about my life, you know,
Brilliant.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Use
yeah,
what you've got. Use what you've got.
100%, you know,
Or what you
yeah,
haven't got, like height.
yeah, exactly. An experience, yeah,
No, I'm only saying that because
yeah,
you told me that.
yeah, no,
Who
absolutely,
was it?
yeah, yeah.
Who was it? Was it Bradley Walsh or someone?
Joe Pasquale,
Joe Pasquale, yeah. He
yeah,
said that to you, didn't he? He said,
yeah, yeah.
make jokes about yourself.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I think I think being a comedian, people would know if you're making jokes about something and life you haven't lived.
Yeah,
There'll be a way of telling, you know, different to how being on stage, but like going no, because you're using like your natural voice, you know,
yeah.
rather than an acting voice. But like, you've done all these jobs over the years. You've been here, there, and everywhere. But is there still a dream job or a dream venue you would like to perform at if you could?
Well, the next job is always the dream job. You know,
Yeah.
that's you know, in the same way as when you're out of work, you hope that today is the day that your agent calls. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
it really is that. And I think so. I often get cabs in London, black cabs, and they're always the first to go, "Oh yeah, you're an actor, are you? What you been in?" You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
and you say, "Oh, I did this, that, and the other." And they go, "Oh right, yeah." So you ain't done EastEnders, and I say, "Oh yeah, I did a little short stint on EastEnders." Oh, did you? Right, all right, yeah. And then when they get out, they go, "Well, hope you make it." And then you think, well, actually, I think that staying in the industry for 35
Yeah.
plus years is making it. That's
Oh
that's
yeah.
it. So the dream job thing, I know it's very sort of jingoistic to go, this is what I want to play. I think every job has its appeal. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't have appeal, then you shouldn't be auditioning for it anyway. I auditioned in December actually for Les Miserables. They were recasting for Thenardier, and I did a lot of research on it. I went along and sang my heart out and performed my heart out as it. Unfortunately, I didn't get it because I believe the guy that now is playing the role was offered it and said, "Oh, he couldn't do it," and now he is going back to do it. So, but I gave my heart and soul, and that would be pretty good part to play. I think Thenardie in Les Miserables, because it's gritty and it's also music led, you know, and don't come better than stories like Victor Hugo writes. So it's I mean, who are we to get passionate about a student revolution? But we do. But somehow at the end of Act One, we're in tears, going, "Oh my god!" Because it's the human condition again, live in the room, and you're watching it happen. So, yeah, that's a nice job. But yeah, I think just for the phone to keep ringing, that's the most important thing, really.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like what you were saying about the taxi driver saying, "Oh, I hope you make it." There are two very different ways of making it. We made it because, as I said, we've been in this industry so long, we get the jobs we do. But then, in the eyes of public, no, we haven't made it because we're not on EastEnders, Coronation Street, whatever. It's like comedians, really. The amount of times comedians get advertised for a gig, and you see someone comment going, "I've never heard of these." Well, yeah, because that's where we're starting, you know. You think Michael McIntyre, John Bishop got to Live at the Apollo just like that, you know?
Yeah, and also I think it's harder to, if you have a big success as something in something, you know, and become famous, a household name because you did it. You've got to perpetuate that. Otherwise, the public go, "Well, what happened to them? They've disappeared." Whereas they're just not working or working on something else that you don't know. So I think it's very hard to be in the public eye and maintain that.
100%,
It's actually almost easier and better if you can to stay slightly under the radar and keep working. Be the actor that everyone knows and be the actor that the peers want to work with you and you get on well with them and regularly get work, but without the big pressures of fame and all that comes with it, you know. And
yeah, I love that. Yeah, and
I've
absolutely,
got a few famous friends, you know, and it's nice when you spend some time with them and you go out for dinner, and then like every 10 minutes someone comes up and says, "Sorry, could I have my picture, or would you mind signing this?" And you think, wow, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with being famous, and I imagine that comes with its stresses as well, and it's not easy because you're owned then by everyone. You can't just go for a quiet drink to talk about life with a friend or your wife or whatever, because there's always someone there tapping on. Oh, there's someone at the door. Hello. No, go away and talk to George Copland. Yeah, he's still not very funny. Yeah, cheers. See you later. Bye.
Oh, is that the wife again?
It's the agent. So, what you got coming up now? Then are you touring?
Oh, I wish. You know. We'll come on to what we got next in a minute. Just one more question before that I've got for you.
Official answers the questions.
If you could go back, obviously, to when you first started and when you were that little boy on stage, if you could go back to right at the beginning and give yourself one bit of advice, what would it be?
Have more sex.
Fair enough.
Is that a serious question?
I mean, if you want to, I can have that answer. You can just give that answer if you want.
Don't turn it down, for goodness sake. You'll regret it.
No. What, that answer or sex?
Don't turn sex down. Yeah, no. What would my advice to my younger self be? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Don't marry your first wife, probably. But there we are. But there we go. It's a learning curve. No regrets, mate. No regrets. I mean, enjoy every moment. There's a lovely film called About Time. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a Richard Curtis film. It's sort of fictional.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. It really, the moral of the story is live every day twice. If you could live every day twice, you'd live the second one happier, you know, as in, so pretend that every day is the second time you've lived that day, you know.
Nice.
And we're like having eye contact with the person that gives you your coffee in the morning, saying thank you and wishing them a nice day as well, you know, and kindness and all that, those basic things we take for granted, giving someone the time of the day, put yourself in someone else's shoes, all those kind of things that make us different from being just amoebas and animals. They're the things that we need to celebrate more. And I think that's probably what I would say is just live every day to the absolute
Yeah.
best that you
No,
can, you know.
100%. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Because
But,
we write so
yeah.
much time off, and I was just saying to my wife earlier, we were walking, and the fishmonger brings his van to the village on a Tuesday morning, and I said, "That's weird. He was only here a couple of days ago," and Nikki said, "No, that was a week ago," and boom, it's gone. It's
Yeah,
gone
that
like
is,
that. I lost
yeah.
both my parents. My mum died in January of this year. My dad died November before, and their lives, you know, they were in their 80s. They had long, full, happy, love-filled lives. But Dad said to me on his deathbed, you know, it goes
Oh,
so
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
Before you
100%.
know it, boom,
Yeah.
you're now a pensioner. And then boom, you're now forgetting things. And then boom, you're in a hospital. And boom, you're
Yeah.
constantly ill. So all those things take up so much time and it goes bloody quickly. God, this has got miserable quickly, hasn't it? But I think the moral of the story is
Yeah.
live your life every day like it's a
Yeah.
really good one. Be brave, but be kind as well. You know, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Life.
Yeah, but it's like every
Peace, man.
every Edinburgh Fringe, every Edinburgh Fringe, and every Panto, you get to the end and you go, where the hell is that? Like last 4 weeks, last 6 weeks gone. It's like
Yeah.
it goes like that, and you always go.
Yeah.
Well, we always go. Where's the last year gone? They were like,
Yeah.
obviously, there's a lot of guys I only see at Edinburgh or Panto. And we're going. I swear it was only a couple of weeks ago we saw each other. We go, oh shit, that was a whole year ago. Where's that
Yeah.
gone? It's
Yeah.
just
No,
it because it's like it's almost been about 3 years since we worked together, which is
yeah.
just crazy thinking about
That's
it. It's like,
mental. In Northampton. Yeah, of course.
yeah, yeah, which is coming up to be 3 years this Christmas. Like, what? No, I was just like last Panto or the one before that, a couple of months ago. It's like,
But
shit, 3 years
you
ago.
still haunt my dreams though, George.
Thank you. That was the plan. And don't worry, it won't get any easier.
Well, look, when you get your dates, do what you normally do and send out the dates to us and we'll come and see you again.
No, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, what is next for you? What have you got coming up? Off from
Well,
stalking me.
exactly that. Well, yes. Could you please do more stuff in public because I can't quite see through your letterbox. No, it's been a busy year so far. I've done a short
Oh,
film
good.
the beginning of the year, a tribute film really to the wonderful Barry Cryer. It's simply called Joke.
Oh,
But
wow.
I was lucky enough to be amongst some big names: Stephen Fry, Judy Dench, Alison Steadman.
Ah.
Yeah, some all doing little comedy sketches and based on jokes that Barry Cryer wrote, made fantastically by his son Bob Cryer. I've seen the finished product now, and it is so lovely. It's so
Oh, wow.
charming.
Oh, I
It's
want to
as
see that.
equally as emotional as it is funny,
Yeah.
because you know that Barry's not with us anymore, but his jokes and his humor and his
Yeah.
legacy is vast, and lives on. So that was a nice project to start the year with. Then I just last week I shot a commercial in Milan.
As you do.
Yeah, which was lovely. And next week I'm doing one scene in a feature film, which shoots in Bath for the week, which is it's a bit, yeah, it's quite nice. I can't say too much about it, but
No, of course, of course. So
it's a
when's
nice
that? The
gig.
film about Barry Cryer. When's that out? Do you know?
Well, it's out now in as much as it's on Vimeo uh, for reference and to be shared. But it's going to be it's not downloadable yet because it's going to do all the festivals this year.
Oh,
So
nice.
Bob wants us to share it amongst the fraternity, but still doesn't want people to sort of own it as such.
Of course.
He wants them to be out into the festival circuit to really spread the word and love about Barry. So that was such a lovely project to work
Oh,
on,
I
and
look forward to watching that. That'll be
yeah,
amazing.
it was great
Yeah.
fun. I got to work with Lucy Bryers, who's the
Nice.
wonderful Richard Bryers' daughter,
Yeah, of course.
um, and Ruth Bratt and Alan Cox. Just really, lovely, just a dream job, really. Nice
One of
one.
those jobs where you look around and go, "This is my career and I love it."
Yeah. And the
I,
good thing is, my filming next week for this feature film. It's in a beautiful city of Bath, so they've offered a hotel, but I'm going to upgrade to a really nice hotel. I don't know if you know the Royal Crescent Hotel in
I
Bath.
think I've heard of it.
And I'm taking
Yeah.
Nikki there as well. Nikki's going to come and stay for a few nights too.
Nice.
So that
Yeah.
we're coupling it with having a nice bit of quality time because I think that's important too. Having spent the best part of 18 months last year and the year before touring, and we've bought a house now, so it's nice to be home. and to be with my
Now you're
family.
back, she's miserable.
Yeah, no, no. I put a smile on her face. How dare you? Didn't he do well? I love George Coppen. Isn't he marvelous?
Oh, I've missed you.
You're watching George Coppen on Oh Yes It Is.
Oh, I've taken that clip and I'm using that. So, where can people find you, then? I said, like online, where can people find you? Apart from in the shower.
Well, I'm on Instagram, but you have to request me, but that's all right. But you will find me in the shower because I'm a clean person. What are you trying to say? Just because I haven't had a shave for a few months doesn't mean I don't wash, for Christ's sake.
I mean, I can't really say much.
Yeah, look, you scruffy old tramp. Well, look at you. It's got bigger, that beard.
It's almost bigger than me.
It will define you. It won't be called George Coppen in the future. Just be called Little Beard. Actually, that's a fucking good name.
Oh, that is actually,
Little Beard.
That'd be a great Edinburgh show title.
Oh, the Little Hairy Twat. Oh, no. Yeah. I think I've seen that film. I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I didn't know what you recorded to me last week. I know. Yeah.
Oh, I love you, George, and I love that you do take a bit of stick as well, which
I'm always
admire
like,
you for.
if you can give it, you got to take it. I don't like I think we've all met people over the years who can give it out a lot but can't take it. It's like, well, don't give it out then.
Can I just ask though? That's very true, but can I just ask? Do you do any impressions?
Badly.
Just before I go, could you do your best impression?
Oh, and I was just about to say, well, usually I can't do accents and I won't do it on this show because usually if I do an accent, it goes to Indian very quickly. Like very quickly, it's racist and I'm gonna get cancelled. I do have one impression for you. It's my impression of a tall person.
Fair at that. You need help, mate. You need help. I was going to do my Robert De Niro.
Oh, go on,
do you want to see my De Niro? I've got to take the cans off. Hang on. What are you talking to me? Huh? What do you think of that?
Oh, very good. Oh, Bob, you just missed him. Robert De Niro's here.
Oh, hello, Bob. Oh, he's gone.
Oh. No, I can't believe you missed it. Can't believe it.
Fair enough. Stuck with you again. Stuck with Joe Pesci.
So.
It's always Joe Pesci. It's never De Niro, is it?
Well, my mate Alex, who had on the first.
Do I amuse you? Do I amuse you?
My mate Alex, who we had on the first episode, said this picture of me looks like Gary Delaney.
Yeah, it does. But his jokes are funny, though, George.
Yeah.
Mate, I've got to go. But listen, I love you.
Thank you. We're still recording, but thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it. As I said, all the links to what you've done and the last laugh will be in the description below. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I want to see you on the next episode. Bob, I fucking love you. I miss you. And we will meet up soon. Bye.